Honourable Member for Canberra.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise today to speak on this urgent and critical bill, the National Occupational Respiratory Disease Registry Bill 2023. The rates of silicosis and other occupational respiratory diseases in our country are unacceptably high, leading to not only preventable illness but tragically far too many preventable deaths. I want to commend the work of many for ensuring this bill and this issue is front of mind. Specifically, I want to thank the CFMEU and the ACTU for their strong campaigning on behalf of their members. Without the alarm bells sounded by the union movement, many more Australian workers would be subject to these deadly respiratory diseases. As Zach Smith, the Secretary of the CFMEU, has said, engineered stone is killing workers. This is the asbestos of the 2020s. Deputy Speaker, over 500,000 Australian workers are currently exposed to silica dust every day on the job. And according to Curtin University, more than 10,000 of those people will eventually be diagnosed with silicosis as a result. And the stories of those diagnosed are heartbreaking. Kyle Goodman, a former stonemason, said, 4.5 years ago, I was given between 5 and 8 years to live. It's a death sentence. There's no cure. There's no treatment. Kyle says, I'm out of breath very easily. We're now seeing another young generation of tradesmen like myself having their lives shortened dramatically by a product that is not essential to the building industry. And as Kyle says, these diseases don't discriminate based on age either. Workers in their 20s, 30s and 40s have all been diagnosed with silicosis. And I want to encourage employers around the nation to do the right thing and protect your workers. We've seen too many cases where employers put their employees in seriously dangerous situations, despite increases in workplace health and safety compliance checks. The ABC reported that one company in New South Wales was inspected and given multiple improvement notices which has allowed them to continue operating. In this business, workers were not wearing proper protective equipment, no training was provided about the risks of silica dust, no health monitoring was offered, and the silica dust was found absolutely everywhere, including in the toilets. The regulator came back a few years later to inspect the factory again. They found that conditions had not changed at all, and the business was fined $3,600. 2 years after that, workers from that business began to be diagnosed with silicosis. Shockingly, after all this, when the regulator returned for another inspection, further breaches were found. It is completely unconscionable for employers to be putting the health of their workers in danger to make money. We must take bold action to protect the health and lives of our workers, and that's exactly what this bill does. The government's commitment to the well-being of Australian workers is clear. We are completely dedicated to confronting the challenge of occupational respiratory diseases head-on, and we are resolute in our mission to ensure that our prevention and treatment measures stand as world-class exemplars, safeguarding our workers against the health risks they face daily. To achieve this, we are rolling out a comprehensive strategy. A strategy that underscores our determination to leave no stone unturned in protecting our workers. We are developing a national silicosis prevention strategy and national action plan in collaboration with health professionals, unions and industry experts. This collaborative effort is a testament to our belief that only through unity can we craft effective solutions. Education is a cornerstone of our approach. We are investing in educational campaigns that target employers, workers and health professionals. This initiative seeks to bolster prevention, detection and treatment. We are also examining ways to limit the use of engineered stone, including exploring an import ban, therefore taking the critical step of reducing exposure to this harmful product. We must also foster coordination among states and territories. We believe in a united front in keeping workers safe. This bill, the National Occupational Respiratory Disease Registry Bill, stands as a testament to this commitment. This bill comes as a result of the recommendations of the National Dust Disease Task Force and is aimed at establishing a National Occupational Respiratory Disease Registry. The alarming increase in silicosis cases among stonemasons working on engineered stone benchtops has spurred us into action. The National Registry, proposed by this bill, will serve as a repository of information related to respiratory diseases believed to be caused or exacerbated by occupational conditions. This information will be pivotal in understanding the true extent of these diseases in Australia, guiding us toward effective preventative actions. One of the vital mechanisms of this bill is the requirement for medical specialists in fields related to respiratory and sleep medicine and occupational and environmental medicine to notify the National Registry about the diagnosis of certain occupational respiratory diseases. This proactive measure will ensure timely and accurate data collection, serving as a foundation for informed policy decisions. This bill sets out the necessary framework for notification, and it ensures that this requirement remains reasonable and effective for medical practitioners. By initially focusing on silicosis as a prescribed occupational respiratory disease, we are taking a calculated approach while reserving the flexibility to include other diseases in the future. The bill also recognises the significance of ensuring that the notified information reaches the relevant parties. It enables the disclosure of notifications to prescribed authorities and health agencies, fostering increased awareness and targeted interventions. Let me emphasise that this bill does not operate in isolation. It works in synergy with the efforts of Australian governments, federal, state and territory to mitigate workplace exposure. It's a tangible embodiment of our unwavering commitment to protecting Australia's workers. By establishing the National Registry, we are making a powerful statement: worker safety comes first. The health of Australian workers comes first. I want to commend the former government for their action in the previous term of Parliament and their bipartisanship in supporting this bill, and I acknowledge their work in setting up the National Disease Task Force. The urgency of this bill cannot be understated. We must send a clear message that the health and lives of Australian workers are not negotiable, and that this place stands as staunch defenders of their rights, their safety and their future, because everyone should be safe at work. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.